Herkese merhaba. Çoğunuz beni tanıyor, bazınız tanımıyor. Ben Erkin. Mutlu Group Türkiye'de Cloud Sales Manager olarak çalışıyorum. Ee, Bu sunum öncesinde Mutlu Group'u size biraz daha netleştirmek istiyorum, tanıtmak istiyorum aslında. Az bilenler ya da hiç bilmeyenler için. Ekranda şu anda benim paylaştığım bir sunum var. Onun üzerinden devam edeceğiz. Şimdi tabii bugünün konusu her ne kadar Barracuda ve konuşmacımız da Vishal bize birazdan bahsedecek teknik konulardan ama ben biraz MOOC'a dair bilgi vermek istiyorum. Şimdi MOOC Grup 1997'de kurulmuş bir grup. E, 4 tane ortağı var ve özel bir şirket bu. Devlete bağlı değil. E, MOOC Grup'un öne çıkartmak istediği, kendiyle alakalı müşterilerine vermek, partnerlerine vermek istediği e, bilgi diyeyim ya da yaklaşım aslında biz sadece cloud ürünleri satmıyoruz. Sattığımız cloud ürünlerle beraber hizmet de sağlıyoruz ve satıyoruz şeklinde. Yani sadece bir tüccarlık yapmıyoruz demek istiyor firma. Ee, Burada tabii bir sürü ülkede şu anda faaliyet gösteriyor. Bu sağ tarafta gördüğünüz ülkeler özellikle Türkiye Cumhuriyetlerde başta olmak üzere Moğolistan'dan yani İngiltere'ye kadar pek çok ülke üzerinde operasyonlarını sürdürüyor bu grup. Türkiye'de onlardan bir tanesi. E, Burada toplam ülke sayısı 19 oldu. Toplam kanal bayisi 4000'i aştı. E, 600'den fazla çalışan var ve 100'den fazla da bazı ülkelerde az bazı ülkelerde çok ancak 100'den fazla da vendorla çalışıyor firma. E, tabii hem lokal servisleri oturtmaya çalışıyor bir yandan da eğitim merkezi kuruyor MOOC Grup. Bunu hem online olarak yapmak istiyor hem de offline olarak yapmak istiyor. Şimdi online olarak her ülkede, 19 ülkede de aktif olarak hem kendi çalışanlarına hem de partnerlerine e, eğitim sattığı vendorların ya da servisini verdiği vendorların e, eğitimlerini de ayrıca oradan sağlamak istiyor. Bunu hem özel olarak yapmak istiyor, yani satış anlamında da yapmak istiyor ya da işte partnerlerine, siz partnerlerimize bunları belli belki avantajlar karşılığında ya da belli kampanyalar karşılığında ya da acil alınması gereken şeyler için de tabii ki ücret beklemelerde bu hizmetleri size sağlayacağız ve bunun için de arka planda çalışıyoruz. Ve Türkiye Hizmet Portali de diyelim girmek üzere, e, devreye girmek üzere. E, Burada daha çok tabii AWS partnerliği de var bu grubun. 2022'den beri Ukrayna'da başladı ama öncesinden beri, çok önceden beri de IBM'in de aslında cloud partnerliği yapıyor. 2016'dan beri de Microsoft partnerliği yapıyor CSP tarafından. E, Buradaki bilgiler e, daha çok bizim digital marketplace dediğimiz kısımla alakalı. Burada bahseden prezentasyonda, sunumda geçen bilgiler aslında bizim ülkemiz için şu anda geçerli değil. Bu da tabii ki bir yandan çalışmaları yürütülen bir konu. Çünkü artık yavaş yavaş distribütör partner arasındaki ilişki bir API var yardımıyla, yazılımlar yardımıyla tabii ki e, almak istediğiniz lisansı hangi müşterinize almak istiyorsanız doğrudan portal üzerinden hızlı bir şekilde yapmanız ve bununla beraber de fatura durumunuzu, ödeme durumlarınızı gibi aklınıza gelebilecek size lazım olan ne varsa onları da buradan kontrol edebilmeniz adına yürüyor. Bunu artık zaten Türkiye'de bazı biliyorsunuz distribütörlerde görebiliyoruz ve biz de normalde bu şekilde çalışıyoruz başka ülkelerde ama Türkiye'de henüz bu oturmadı. Bu da istediğimiz şeylerden bir tanesi. Ekranda da aslında onun tanıtımını görüyorsunuz. Dediğim gibi şu an ülkemizde yok ama burada da olacak. Yapılmak istenen şeylerden bir tanesi bu. Bu marketplace tarafı dediğim gibi yani hem sizin lisanslarınızı hızlıca almanızı sağlayacak ya da işte adet arttırma olabilir, adet düşürme olabilir yapılabiliyorsa vendora göre. Ee, Microsoft tarafında biliyorsunuz tabii her zaman öyle olmuyor ama onun belli kuralları var ama genel olarak lisans arttırma, azaltma, yeni lisans alma, müşteriyi ekleme, e, faturamla alakalı e, raporlamaları alma, işte partner support'tan işte icabında ticket açma, teknik destek için ticket açma gibi konuları aslında MOOC grubun marketplace ekranından yapabiliyorsunuz. Ama dediğim gibi henüz bizde aktif değil. Genellikle bu arada MOOC'un 19 ülkede de yaptığı şey, sattığı ve desteğini, hizmetini verdiği hizmetler hep cloud hizmetler. Genellikle cloud hizmetlerden %95 diyebilirim bunu. Örneğin Makedonya'da Dell mesela çalışıyoruz ama e, diğer ülkelerde ve Türkiye'de özellikle aslında yavaş yavaş artık geçilen kısım cloud kısmı. Çünkü biliyorsunuz, hepiniz benden daha iyi biliyorsunuz. Trend aslında bu yönde. MOOC da bunun gerisinde kalmıyor. Burada bahsedilen key values and services çok çeşitli. Bunların çoğu Türkiye tarafını şu anda ilgilendirmiyor ama genel olarak işte e, hangi marka olursa olsun, X bir marka fark etmez. Onunla alakalı size 7/24 destek verebilme, e, markanın tabii ki izin verdiği ölçüde, bununla alakalı size danışmanlık verebilme, marketing kısmında size yardımcı olabilme gibi. Yani sadece partnere ben lisansını ya da almak istediği hizmeti satayım, e, karımı alayım ve birinci konu kapansın getirmek istemiyor. Burada daha çok yapmak istediği şey, her anlamda partnerle beraber el ele yürüyeyim, mümkün olduğunca yardımcı olayım ve hem son kullanıcıyı hem de partnerimizi, kendi müşterimizi mutlu edeyim. Aslında konu bu. Dinlediğiniz için teşekkür ederim beni. Şimdi ben sözü önce Mikita'ya bırakacağım. Arkasından da Vishal konuşmaya başlayacak.
So, first of all, I would like to thank you, every one of you, for joining us today. And today, the agenda we are going to discuss about Barracuda email protection solution, basically. So, when we talk about email security, we are majorly focusing on O365 because that's where we see that more than 95% of the total business emails are on O365. So, when it comes to email protection, we are securing M365 environment when it comes to emails, your users, the access to at O365 environment, and the data which is residing on O365. So before I jump into the email protection particularly, I want to just give you a brief about the Barracuda solution framework. So as Barracuda, we are operating into four different segments, starting from email protection, which we have been doing since last more than 20 years now. Then we have solutions in and around data protection. We are also into network security. And last but not the least, we are having one of the best application security solution as well. So we have a full set of security offering that protect all of the key components of our customers' environment: email, data network traffic, security, network security, and application at the end. And all of this are protected by our global threat intelligence platform. And we give our customers choice for consumption and deployment. There are multiple deployment options which you can choose from. And we also deliver this solutions as a managed services for XDR and SOC as a service as well. Okay. So now when we talk about email protection, usually we speak about securing our emails. But if you look at the Barracuda email protection suite, we basically provide defense in depth. So when we talk about email security, definitely from the email processing perspective, we do provide protection against the spam, malware, viruses, bulk email, phishing, business email compromise, and all those advanced threats as well. But when we talk about O365 specifically, there is much more than just securing the emails, because when we look at O365, we have like OneDrive, we have SharePoint, we have Teams communication. So data protection and compliance is something which we help our customers with. So we do provide backup for O365 environment. When I say O365 environment, we are taking care of four major components, which is like emails, Exchange Online, OneDrive, SharePoint, and Teams communication. We also provide archiving solution for any sort of compliance requirement just in case. And we also provide data classification, which is the DLP module, which I would say for your OneDrive and SharePoint specifically. When we talk about user awareness, employees, of course, the last line of defense, and we do provide security awareness testing and training for your end users. And when we talk about access protection, we do provide protection against the account takeover attempts, and we do provide zero trust access for your O365 environment. So all of this, which I'm talking about, uses best-in-class machine learning in the back end. And as I mentioned, everything is part of our enhanced threat intelligence. So for email security alone, we are serving somewhere around 60,000 plus customers across the globe. And we do have integration with our XDR solution, uh, just in case if any customer is looking for a managed services coming directly from Barracuda. Now, when we talk about emails and why it is so important even today to discuss about email security, because if you look at the cost of an average email attack, uh, 75% of the organizations experienced a successful email attack last year, which is coming from Barracuda Email Security Trends report, which we published year after year. This year also we published one report, and the figures are almost same. So 75% of the organizations experienced a successful email attack last year. And if you look at a cost of an email attack, which was on an average around $1 million, and up to 98% of the organizations are not fully prepared to deal with this kind of security risk. Another thing which we are seeing that there is a lot of changes happening in terms of the way customers are, managing the IT infrastructure, specifically the security stacks which they have in their environment. So we see that 75% of the organizations today are pursuing vendor consolidation, which has started a couple of years back. So they are basically preferring a solution which is coming from a single vendor, which can take care of all the aspects of security in their environment. So companies are downsizing and consolidating their security stacks. And, the reason behind that is that there are more complex threats. There are smaller teams to manage those solutions. And it's not just about the single pane of glass, but they are also considering the return of investment which they are making on the security solution. So when we talk about email security, as Barracuda, we have identified 13 different email attack vectors, which is ranging in terms of the complexity. So as you can see on the screen, if you look at on the left-hand side, the attacks are less complex, but the moment you move to the right-hand side, the complexity of the attacks are getting more and more. So like, attacks like spam, malware, data exploration, these are the attacks which can be prevented using a gateway-based solution where you change your MX record to a gateway. There are rules and policies which is configured on the gateway. If something is matching with that rule, it will be blocked. So spam, malware, data exploration, bulk email, URL phishing, to some extent scamming as well, which can be prevented at the gateway level. But the moment you move to the right-hand side, you will see that the attacks are getting more and more complex, like, business email compromise, or in other words, CEO fraud, conversation hijacking, lateral phishing. So this kind of attacks require a different kind of approach, and that's where if you look at majority of the email attacks, you will see at the perimeter, which is spam, bulk email, viruses, malware, and so on and so forth. But there are still 10% of the attacks, which is like more sophisticated attack. And if you look at the 75% organization which we are talking about, fall victim for some sort of successful email attack, were ranging from all of these. So starting from simple attack like a spam email to more complex attacks like conversation hijacking, uh, most of the customers sees that they are now seeing majority of the attacks are coming from attackers in a sophisticated manner, like business email compromise, like extortion, like brand impersonation. Now, when we talk about native security, which we get from O365, if you look at the native security, as you can see on the screen, the spam email, bulk email, malware, viruses, including zero day, you are still protected with O365. But the moment you talk about those complex attacks, you are still vulnerable on O365. So this kind of attack basically requires, as I said, a different approach. And when we talk about attacks coming from different vendor vectors, we see that even today, 69% of the attacks starts from a single email, followed by the web application traffic and then the network traffic. So why it is so important when we talk about email security is because when we talk about today's ransomware kill chain, as you can see on the screen, this is an example of a ransomware attack chain. So first of all, the attackers fish the customer via email. They set the stage, doing the lateral movement, gaining the infrastructure access, disabling the alert, then elevating the privilege to the admin. Then they exploit the data, creating the firewall rules, sending the data to command and control center, and then they encrypt the data and demand ransom. So this is a normal ransom kill chain, which can start with a single email. Apart from that, today what we are seeing about is the large language model. Okay, everybody have heard about Chat GPT or Gemini or let's say GPT-4. So if you look at the kind of data which this large language models are producing or processing, it is unbelievable. So if you look at 1 million seconds, that's basically 12 days. If you look at 1 billion seconds, that's about 32 years. And if we are talking about 1 trillion seconds, we are talking about nearly 32 years. But this large language models, which you are talking about, process 1.7 trillion parameters in seconds. So you can imagine the kind of automation which happens using this kind of large language models. And because of this artificial intelligence, it is a game changer, definitely for security, but it is also a game changer for attackers as well. Because the kind of the volume of attacks which happens due to automation, the targeting made easier for attackers, customization or personalizing of any kind of attack made it very simple using these large language models, and code generation to exploit any kind of vulnerabilities is extremely easy nowadays. So this is one of the example which is coming from chat gpt-4. As you can see that I just put it like write a convincing email that can be used in a business email compromise attack. It should be directed to an account manager and instruct them to urgently pay an invoice. The email should appear to be from business CEO. And you can see that the chat gpt has produced the result, which is very sophisticated. And if I send this email to any of the party outside of my organization, they will easily fall victim for this one. Another thing which we are seeing nowadays is since past about 3 4 months now, we have seen an increase in QR code based attacks, and these attacks are not new. But we are seeing that attackers are using this kind of techniques more often to leverage this kind of phishing techniques. And the impersonation protection team which we have, which is our AI engine, has uh, has classifiers defined in our AI engine which can easily detect this kind of QR code based attacks. Another example which I can give you is if you look at this kind of emails, you can see that the email is coming from Sheila Tracy, but the actual email address is a Gmail address. And if you look at the email itself, there is no malicious payload, there is no attachment, there is no link. It is kind of a simple request from a known contact. And if you look at the kind of analysis which our AI engine has done, it determines that this is kind of a business email compromise attack or CEO fraud, and there are key indicators which has been provided by the AI engine. Another example, this is another kind of attack where it is kind of a conversation hijacking attack. You can see that there is one letter extra in the email address, and the intent of the email, it is asking to make some payment via SEH. So here you can see that the analysis which has been done by our AI engine, the determination is that it is a conversation hijacking attack, and there are key indicators that this email is potentially part of a conversation hijacking because of the intent of the email, and the email has a sender domain which is not exactly the domain it appears to be. Okay. Another example, this is like a brand impersonation based attack. You can see that this email looks like coming from Amazon, but it is not. And if you look at the link within the email, you will not be able to see this link anywhere on the web where it says that this is a malicious link, because I might have created this link yesterday and I might have sent this email today. So there will be no evidence of this particular link, but our AI engine has determined that this is a call to action, because we are asking to click on this particular link, and once you click on that link, it contains a URL which can be malicious. So this is something which has been determined by our AI engine. So when we talk about O365, our 40% of the attacks that we catch are missed by Microsoft, and it is not because Microsoft doesn't have that capability, but it is something about the threat intelligence which we are using in the backend. And as I said, that only for email security, we are serving somewhere around 60,000 plus customers across the globe. So that becomes our threat intelligence. The attack types that we analyze, like phishing, conversation hijacking, CEO fraud, uh, it is something which is far better or superior in terms of the efficiency of the solution. And even if you look at the more expensive plans of Microsoft O365, like E5, E3, E1, all of them are below the detection rate which we provide to our customers. So why it is so important and why it is so superior? So if you look at the email security, there are two kinds of prevention which we can have. One is at the gateway level, where we detect all the spam, malware, viruses, including zero-day attacks. But the moment you talk about those complex attacks, that is where we do have something called inbox defense, which is a completely API-based approach, and we integrate with O365 using APIs seamlessly. So attacks like account takeover, business email compromise, extortion, service impersonation, scamming, or spear phishing attacks, that is something which we take care at the inbox level, which cannot be detected by any gateway solution. Okay. So why our AI engine is so powerful? Because we use something called a superior technology, and we use best-in-class machine learning for targeted attacks, and we integrate with O365 using APIs, as you can see here. So this impersonation protection, you have emails which is coming to your inbox. This impersonation protection is something which is sitting at the inbox level and gives you protection against all those sophisticated threats which we discussed. So what makes this technology superior is our identity graph technology. So if you look at the the logic behind this particular technology is the identity graph, and we create something called identity graph for each and every user within the organization. So we take into consideration multiple parameters. As you can see, few examples on the screen, like sentiment analysis. What is the sentiment of the email? What kind of context and relationship which any user or each and every user has within the organization and outside of the organization? What kind of names are being used while you send an email? So based on multiple parameters like this, we create an identity graph for each and every employee or each and every mailbox within your organization. And if you create, let's say, some sort of rules on the gateway, probably you'll have to create hundreds of rules for thousands of individuals within the organization, which is not a scalable solution. So that's the reason we are using dual approach. We sit on the gateway, we reduce the noise at the perimeter, and when it comes to the advanced threats, we are sitting at the inbox level using our AI engine and provide you superior protection for all those advanced threats as well. So when we talk about artificial intelligence and machine learning, it basically disrupted the rule-based defense. So rules are simplistic, ineffective, labor-intensive, because we have to create the rules manually, uh, and it is something which is not scalable at the end of the day. But when we talk about this kind of AI engine or machine learning techniques, it is robust, first of all, because there are multiple classifiers and there are multiple analysis which happens in the backend, very effective, and no efforts so whatsoever required from the customer side in terms of defining the rules and policies for the solution. Now, this is something which we talked about security, but when we talk about best in class security, let's say we have invested millions of dollars in terms of securing our environment. But no matter what, nobody can give you 100% guarantee that after onboarding this solution, you will be 100% protected. I can give you, let's say, 99.999 and few more nines, but not 100%, right? So when we talk about the post-delivery response, and when we talk about the incident which take place, even with all the security stack in place, there will be some emails which will pass through. And for that, we do have something called post-delivery response mechanism, which is part of our automatic remediation. So on an average, when we look at any email attack, it spends somewhere around 3.5 days in the user's inbox until it discovered and remediated by the customers. So this post-delivery response mechanism or automatic remediation mechanism which you provide is something which basically help our customers in order to detect any kind of post-delivery threats within the environment, and then we help them to remediate that threats using few clicks basically. Okay. Also, when we talk about the machine learning which we are using in the backend, so it is one of the best-in-class machine learning which we use. We do have integrated threat response mechanism, real-time threat prevention methodology using our AI engine. We do user behavior analysis using our identity graph, and we are moving towards user-centric email security by applying, machine learning to user behavior analysis. So we do have a complete UBA-based email security in place, and it is trustworthy and transparent machine learning models which we are using in the backend. So when we talk about the efficiency of the solution, it is much more superior than any other solutions out there in the market. And we are also deploying this machine learning modules to the edge, which is the gateway. So if you look at our vision for the machine learning, how we are basically conversing that to both the platform, like at the gateway level as well as at the inbox level. So this is the mechanism which we are using. So we do have some classifiers on the gateway as well, which is basically conversing with this particular engine which we have as a inbox level. So customers can also leverage this machine learning techniques at the gateway level as well. So this is kind of the conversions which we made recently, and we have added few classifiers based on the machine learning on the gateway as well. So we are one of the first vendor or the only vendor basically in the market who have machine learning deployed on the gateway as well. Okay. So we train the data, we do the analysis, we help our machine learning classifiers to, adapt those learnings and from the analysis, and then we retrain the entire engine. So it is kind of a process which happens in the back end. Okay. So now, when we talk about email security, basically, we do have three plans, three SaaS offering, basically good, better, best SaaS plan. And as you can see on the screen, we made it very simple for our customers. So we do have three plans, which is Advanced, Premium, and Premium Plus. So even if you look at the Advanced plan, basically any customer who is looking for email security, or I would say complete email security, that is part of the Advanced plan, including our AI engine. When you look at the premium, we added some more features like integration with your SOC environment, like integration with your SIM solution, SOAR solution, XDR solution, threat hunting and response capabilities, automated workflows. So this is something which is basically if you have a SOC environment, you can look at the premium plan. And when you look at the premium plus plan, we do have complete offering like starting from email security. Then we have security awareness training for the end users. Then we have cloud archiving services for the longer term of retention of the emails. cloud to cloud backup, where we back up the data of your O365 environment. And in cloud to cloud backup, we are not only talking about uh, emails, but we are talking about all major four components of O365, which is online exchange, OneDrive, SharePoint, and Teams communication. And when we talk about the cloud archiving and cloud to cloud backup services, we provide unlimited storage and retention. That means you literally don't have to worry about the storage which it might require in order to take the backup of your O365 environment. It is literally unlimited. So basically, you whether you have 1 terabyte of data or 100 terabytes of data, you don't have to worry about that. Okay. So again, when we talk about Barracuda, it's all about flexibility, and we know that not all these three plans which you are talking about will suit the requirement for each and every customer. So we are very flexible, and we can basically bespoke the plan based on the customer requirement. So let's say, for example, if a customer says that we need advanced email security, but on top of that, we need cloud to cloud backup as well. So we can bundle these two components together. So it is all about the flexibility and the requirement of the customer, and we can design the bespoke plan according to the customer's requirement. Okay. Now, there is something called email threat scanner. It is a good point to start with. This email threat scanner is again part of our AI engine, and we do some analysis on your existing emails posture. So you can scan your emails using this email threat scanner without paying any charges to Barracuda, and you get a very sophisticated report out of that once the scan is completed. And you can see that how many gaps are there in your existing email security. And then we can probably offer you a POC with our AI engine, and we can see that how we can help in order to bridge those gaps which you have in your email security. So it is kind of a health check which you can do yourself. All you have to do is you have to just go to this particular website, which is scan.barracudanetworks.com, and then you can start your scan if you are on O365. So that is all from my side from the presentation perspective. So this is a dashboard which you are seeing right now is from impersonation protection from Barracuda, and this is the AI engine which we are talking about. So this is the identity graph which you create in the backend, and here you can see that there is something called test AI. You can report the missed attacks to train the AI engine and all this stuff which you can do here. But apart from that, if you look at this one, this particular module doesn't require even a single policy which needs to be set up. It is a completely automated engine which is driven by AI and machine learning. And here you can see that the advanced threats which we are talking about. So let's take an example. This is one of the impersonation based attack. And if you look at this particular email, you can see that on my snips from the presentation was coming from here. So here you can see that this kind of emails, which basically doesn't have any body or anything. It is, just give me a second. It is not appearing. Yeah. So because of the content of the email, you're not able to see the body of the email. But here you can see that there are kind of analysis which happened in the backend. So here you can see that there is a complete send analysis which happened. The email is coming from a Gmail address, domain registered on August 13. Of course, it is Gmail 1995. If you look at the IP address of the domain, location, geolocation, IP reputation score, and how many threats has been detected from Gmail account, you get all of this detail. From the authentication perspective, you can see that DKM has failed, SPF has passed, there is no DMARC setup for this one. And if you look at the kind of analysis which AI engine has done, you can see the severity is high. Our confidence in terms of the engine or in terms of determining that whether this email is a spam email or not is very high. The determination, what kind of attack it is an impersonation based attack. And why it is so, the key indicators is that this email makes an unusual request to the recipient. You can find similar kind of emails from all the inboxes in your environment, or you can just move this email to junk folder. So that is the by default action which has been set up. You can even delete the email from the user's mailbox. So this is kind of the impersonation based attack which we prevent at the inbox level. And not only that, but all those advanced threats which we discussed during the presentation, like conversation hijacking, extortion, impersonation, phishing, scamming, CEO fraud. So all of these attacks basically can be detected by this AI engine, and the gateway cannot detect that. Gateway is still relevant. I would not say that gateway is something which is not effective. It is still effective at 90% scenario. But when we talk about those advanced threats and where majority of the organizations fell victim for, it is where this impersonation module is something which is very superior and provide much more efficiency in terms of detecting those advanced threats. Not only that, you can also enforce your demarc policy for the domain. So here you can see that if you look at account takeover protection is there as a part of the impersonation protection. We do provide domain foot protection, which is again uh, demarc enforcement for your domains. So let's say you have one domain or you have 10 domains, you can enforce demarc policy or demarc for those domains. So that is something which is part of the solution or the platform. And last but not the least, we do provide incident response capabilities as well. So post-delivery threat mitigation or remediation is something which is part of the solution. So with the incident response capability, you can create incident response. You can have your own response mechanism, which is completely automated. So you don't have to wait until an incident strike, but you can have your own response mechanism by creating incidents in the IR or incident response dashboard. So this is something which is again part of the solution. So as I said, we not only talk about preventing the threats at the gateway level, but we do much more than the gateway level protection. Definitely, we block those 90% spam, bulk viruses, zero-day attacks at the gateway level so that we reduce the noise for the inbox. And when it comes to inbox level defense, again, our API based approach and the AI engine, which you are putting on top of O365, is something which makes it a complete solution for your environment. So the moment you talk about O365 specifically, O365 is number one most impersonated brand across the globe. And the moment you are on O365, you will see that compared to on-prem exchange, the attack vectors are more. The target made easier because of the O365, and you will see the newer attack vectors for which we have a proper mechanism in terms of providing you protection for those advanced threats as well. So yeah, so as I said, there is no policy or anything which you need to configure in this particular component. Policies and everything is something which you configure at the gateway level. But even with the gateway, as I mentioned during my presentation, that we are conversing this AI engine or machine learning to the gateway as well. So you will get much more superior protection on the gateway as well, along with inbox level defense with impersonation protection. So that's all from my side. Again, if you have any questions or any queries, the team is here to help you with that. Bark is locally based in Turkey, so he has also provided his cell number. So just in case, if at a later stage, if you have any questions, any queries, if you want to discuss anything more about it, please feel free to get in touch with us, and we would be more than happy to take it up with you. Thank you.